Welcome back, everyone, to the fourth installment of this Tradingview tutorial series. Trying to get you up and running as fast as possible, so that way you can spend less time trying to figure the software out and more time trying to figure out how to make that money. So we've talked about a lot of the other basics here. This time around, I wanted to kind of start talking about the indicators and all these fun little things over here to the side, to this left side here. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is at the top here, if you click on that little arrow that pops up there, these are the different type of cursors you have. Usually I'll keep mine on cross, but you can use dot, arrow, and eraser. And of course, the eraser will just, if you have something that you're drawing on there, you can have that eraser, you can click on it, it'll immediately disappear. The second set down here are your Gann and Fibonacci tools. Let me say it's 1, 2, 3. The first one up here are your trend line tools. And then you have your Gann and Fibonacci tools. Under that, you have your geometric shapes. Under that, your annotation tools. Below that, then you have your patterns. And then you have your prediction and measurement tools, followed by your icons. And then you have this other section where you have the measurement tool here, as well as your zoom in, zoom out. And then you have, for everything that has to go with the chart here, you have your magnet, which helps the things that you're drawing on here adhere to the open, close, low, and high prices on the candles, which just helps your drawing when you're drawing channels and stuff attach a lot quicker and easier. You have this one right here, which says to stay in drawing mode, which is nothing really to worry about at the moment. The lock all drawing tools, when you have multiple things drawn on here, if you click on this, they'll all stay on there so you don't accidentally pull them or move them as you're moving the chart around. And then you have your hide all the drawing tools. And of course, that'll just, what it does is if you have everything, a chart full of things that you look at, you can click this and they'll all disappear. So you just have the price action on there. Or you can, of course, hit it and they come back, just to kind of hide them and show them again. And then you have your remove drawings tool here. And of course, you've got drawings, you can remove indicators, or you can remove your drawings and indicators with that right there. So to get us into this, again, we'll start with one of my favorites here, which is the channel here. And so let's say you're setting this up and you go, okay, yeah, that's looking pretty good right there. So that's the channel I want to watch. Let's say you're going through here and you're going, if I'm looking at this, whatever your Elliott wave count may be, let's just say you do that. So you go right here. You'll notice it's right here under your patterns. You go to your Elliott impulse wave there, and you click on your first one. There's your wave 1, and you say, okay, there's my wave 2, and I think this will be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'll be a 3, and that'll be a 4. And so then I'm looking for where 5 is going to go. You can just hide that up there. And let's say you've got that. Let's say you've got another channel on here. Let's say it looks like this here. As you can see that there. And so now you see you're starting to get more and more of these drawing tools here. If you're looking at this, and so you start adding all these things in. And let's say you just want to look at just the chart again, because they can get kind of cumbersome when you have a whole bunch of stuff in there. But you can just click that, and as you can see, it takes it all off, puts it all in there. Or you can just hit the trash can here, and as you can see, it removes them all. So that's how that looks. Your measurement tool here just lets you know whatever you want to measure here. Let's say you want to measure from this to this area here. It tells you how many bars. So this is the 1 hour time frame. So this shows you 291 hours, 1 hour, 291 hour bars, which is the equivalent of 58 days and 4 hours. And then, of course, it shows your percentage change there during that time and whatnot. Just click anywhere on the chart to get rid of that. This right here is your zoom in. And you can zoom in. You just draw the, you have to click it, and you have to draw it over the area that you want to zoom in, and then it brings it in there. And then, of course, you can hit your zoom out to zoom out on that. These are just your icons. People draw these silly little, put these silly little chart, sometimes pictures on there, whatever they want to do. If you want to say, oh, it's mooning, there you go. There's your moon, right? Double click on that, and of course, you can change your color here to whatever you want it to be. By the way, the other thing you can do is Let me see here. Yeah, we got enough time in this one. So with anything you use up here, any of these you use, you can make them only visible on certain time frames. Let's say this moon up here, you only want visible on your hourly. And let's say you only want it visible from your 1 hour to your 12-hour time frame. And then you want it only visible for 1 to 3 days. So you can change this over here to 3 days. So now this will only show up, and let's say you don't want it visible on the weeks, the months, or the ranges there. Now, when you say OK here, this will only be visible on the 1 through 12-hour time frames and the 1 to 3 day time frames. So if we go here, we go, okay, the 15-minute, notice it is no longer on there. And this is a great thing that you can use if you're trying to look at things that are smaller time frames here, say on the 5-minute or the 15-minute, and it becomes a lot of clutter on a 4-hour chart because you're going to look at a lot of little small things moving in here. So you want it only visible here, and that way when you go to the 4-hour, it doesn't show up. In this case, remember this one was going to be showing up on the 1 to 12-hour time frame, as well as the daily, the 3-day. But look at that, weekly, it's not there. So that's a great way. You can do that with everything you do, whether it's your Elliott wave tools, whether it is your rectangle here, whether it's your whatever it is that you happen to be using for these things. Let's say you want to do a pitchfork. Let's say you draw a pitchfork from the first point from your swing low there, next point to your swing high, then to your swing low again. And let's say you only want that visible right there on the lower time frames, and let's say just to an hour. Not on your days, not on your weeks. So they will only show up now on your 1 to 59-minute time frames and your 1-hour time frames. See how it's no longer here on the weekly? It's not there on the 4-hour. Oh, there it is on your 1-hour. Right over here. And then, of course, on your lower time frames as well. Once again, you just hit your trash can. It removes it all. You can switch to your time frames up here again. It just makes it quick, fast, easy for you. Let me see here. So again, you have your trend lines here, which basically means you take a point to another point, and that gives you your trend line. If you go up here, again, I've shown you multiple times your channels there. We've shown you that. If you want a trend line that goes on indefinitely, now let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's say you're not interested just to here. You want to see forever that trend line there, right? So what you do is you go here to your ray, and then you click the first point here. Oh, let me get here. There we go. There we go. By the way, when you click on it, it'll be blue. Notice it'll be a light blue instead of a black. So you click on your first one, then you click your second point, and notice it continues on. Now, at any time, even with the regular lines, you can double click on them, go in there, and you can set the exact coordinates here. So if you wanted exactly right there at the swing low, right there, if we look up here at the L, that's the swing low on this candle here. It says 23.51 and 10 cents. So 23.51 and 10 cents. And you hit OK, and there you go. Now you got exactly at that swing low. You can do that for all of these. You go here to style. And so your style, you can change. Do you want it a dash line? Do you want it a regular line? Do you want it a dotted line? What color do you want that line? You can change that. Do you want it larger? As you can see, you can change all this here. And then you can look over here and you go, okay, do you want a normal or an arrow? You can stick it as an arrow. Notice now it's an arrow there. On the other way, normal or an arrow. So you put there and it's an arrow at your other point. But it still continues on beyond that. You can also change the extension. Again, your ray just is a line that has an extended right line button clicked. See, if you take that away, see how it stops right there? But you can go right here, extend left line, and it goes the other way as well. You can click on show the middle point, and it shows you the middle point between those 2 points you drew. And then, of course, you can click things like show price range. Shows you the percentage and your price range there. Show the range of the bars. Shows you that. Show your date and time range. Show your distance. Show the angle. This is an 18-degree angle. And you can do always show stats or whatever you want to do on there. So that's just a quick show there. That works with your lines here, your trend lines, your horizontal rays and all those. And we'll go into some more of those here in a minute. We'll see you in the next lesson.